Well, good morning and welcome to the Underhood Show. My name is Josh Profit. I'm the service director here at Mel Hamilton Ford. Alongside me this morning, Kelly Hamilton. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning. How are you?
Perfect. Sunny and 70 is what they say.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's what I say. Kelly's our quick lane manager, runs the quick lane for Mel Hamilton Ford, and so thanks for hanging out with me for this morning's show.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Joshua.
It's your favorite thing to do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Phil is Phil and 3J. They're in Dodge City out there racing today. So maybe get a call in and see how last night went for them. But anyways, this is a call-in show. So 316-462-3673. That's the number to jump on the air here with us and talk about anything automotive. So got a couple of topics up my sleeve that I wanted to go over this morning, but I also kind of kept them a secret, so it was a surprise to you as well. I didn't have any time to study or prep or decide.
That's what I like about this thing, the improv.
They say buy the seat of your pants, and that is for sure a fact. So, but it is a call-in show. 316-462-3673 is the number to jump on the air here with us and talk about anything automotive related that you may want to discuss. So we do have a call already this morning, so I'm gonna go to that and we'll get it kicked off. So hey, good morning, Jake. Thanks for waiting there. Sorry about the length, but you're on live with Under the Hood. How can we help you this morning?
Well, I just bought a 2019 Bullitt Mustang, and a friend of mine was telling me, you guys are Ford and everything, that you guys do like oil changes and like inspections for a discounted price. I called the show. I just had some questions kind of about the warranties. Is there anything I can do to the car that like won't void the warranty?
Well, so on a 2019, how many miles you got on it?
It's got 49,000. So, yeah. And I just bought it from a dealership with the full powertrain warranty on the motor. But
so you purchased like a extended warranty then, is what you're saying? From that facility?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So we can, first of all, we'll start off by just talking about the factory warranty. So that's Ford Motor Company backs that and takes care of that. With it being a 19 and 43,000 miles, aside from like a corrosion warranty on the paint, all other warranties, unless there is a recall or warranty extension on a specific component, there's no factory warranty left on that vehicle. Okay.
And
then so from a maintenance standard, or like there's nothing that you would be able to do to void that warranty because there's nothing there with this with the exception of, again, the corrosion side of the warranty over the body portion of it. Now when you get into aftermarket extended warranties, and this is such a broad span area because it really depends on what the contract is that you sign with.
Did you buy it at a Ford dealer?
No, I bought it at Don Hatton.
Okay. And do you know the name of the warranty company that you purchased the warranty through?
I would tell you, but I'm getting a haircut right now.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
That's no problem. But anyways, there's a lots of extended warranty companies out there, right? And some of them require different things. Some of them require, service intervals at certain specific mileage. And then there's clauses in there that are extremely specific as to what needs to take place, and they give you a grace period of it has to be done within this many months or this many thousand miles based on the odometer reading or age of the vehicle, or and there's a lot of different warranties out there. If you purchase from Don Hatton, I believe that they probably sell a pretty reputable product from that side. I've seen a lot of bad extended warranties out there, but I've also seen a lot of ones, especially in what we do and bringing in broke cars here. You know, when people come see us, their car's broke, right? And so I've seen a lot of people that have purchased an extended warranty and got the benefits of what that looks like when, you know, a major component's broke and it's taken care of because of the extended warranty that they've purchased. And so, but I would encourage you to read through the contract pretty thoroughly just to make sure that you're doing what you need to do. The other thing is, you know, just because you have an extended warranty on something does not mean that you don't need to maintain it or still provide the maintenance that's due on those items. You know, people think, okay, well, I've got an extended warranty and it's going to cover my, you know, transmission to 150,000 or something like that, you know, and why would I then now service it? Well, that component, just because you have a extended maintenance on it doesn't mean that, or extended warranty on it doesn't mean that it still doesn't need to be maintained throughout the life of that component. And so again, I would read through that warranty contract pretty thoroughly just to make sure that you have a good understanding and what the expectations are. Some of those extended warranty companies, like you've got to go back to the selling dealer or the selling location and have the repairs performed, you know, unless some of them will have a clause saying that if you're so far away, basically, so if you're traveling, that they'll make an exception. The other side of it is I've seen extended warranty companies, you know, cover the cost of maybe a repair, but then not the fluids that it takes to make that repair, or a heavily discounted labor rate, or, you know, but again, I believe if it was from Don Hatton, it was probably a pretty reputable place, but you just make sure you understand the guidelines of what that warranty looks like.
That makes sense.
So hope I answered your question. And then again, just read through that contract, make sure you understand it.
Absolutely.
Okay. Gotcha. That works, man.
Well, hey, thanks for calling into the show, and we'll get that certificate out to you and get that service. Enjoy that new Bullitt Mustang.
Yeah,
but not too much.
Sweet, man.
I said enjoy it, but not too much.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to, man. It's hard to not just romp it everywhere. It sounds so good, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Understand that completely. Well, very good.
Well, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thanks for the call, and like I said, we'll get that certificate sent out to you. Okay.
Sweet. Y'all have a good day.
You too. Thanks. Well, hey, 316-462-3673. That's the number to jump on the air here with us, and we'll send you out a prize package valued at over $205. But it's going to consist of the works, which is an oil change and tire rotation. We use Motorcraft oil and filter products here at Mel Hamilton Ford. While we're completing that, we're going to complete a multi-point inspection, checking over the brakes, tires, steering, suspension, all the safety related components on that vehicle, just making sure that it's ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving. You'll get yourself $10 to Mel's Diner, so you can get yourself something to eat and drink while you're here with us at the big corner. Complete nitrogen for your tires, so you get all the great benefits that nitrogen has to offer. And then a BG products package, which consists of a can of MOA or motor oil additive for your engine oil, and then 44K for your fuel system. Again, just getting that vehicle geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving. And all you got to do is call in 316-462-3673. And let's talk anything automotive. So as I mentioned, I was going to throw a couple things on you, and I'll do it to the listeners as well. So I want to know, so it's Father's Day weekend. Yep. All right. So maybe automotive related, maybe not. Like what's a gift that you were given for Father's Day? You know, typically trying to gear this towards something automotive related. And then the next question that I had was, because this time of year you get a lot of people traveling, going on trips, summer vacations, you know, schools are out, and there's just a high volume of travel and people going places. And so what's a trip that you had taken that was maybe didn't go exactly how you thought it should have because of automotive related type stuff? Okay. So any experience in that? And then from our perspective, I thought one of the things that we could talk about is, okay, now I'm looking at taking this trip. What are some things that I should look at on the vehicle before I just hop in it and head on down the road?
Sure.
Right. So I'll let your brain get to thinking on that, and we'll start in on that discussion. I've got another caller coming in here. I'm going to get him patched through and see what's on his mind today. But so from the caller's perspective, obviously Father's Day weekend. So a Father's Day gift that you've maybe received or got that was automotive related, or maybe not. Maybe you just want to talk about it. And then the next thing was taking a summer vacation or a road trip, or any type of trip, and talk about how something maybe automotively impacted that trip. So let's go to the phones. Let's go back to the phones here. Let's see who. And we're going to go talk to Jason. Jason, good morning. You're on live with Under the Hood.
Morning, guys. Happy Father's Day weekend.
Same to you.
Hey, so you're talking about warranties. So a few years ago, when I had my 2015 Ford F-150, I brought it to you guys because I was having a lot of issues with it. And it turned out the turbos went out, everything went out. Well, I had the Route 66 warranty. And let me tell you, after all the repairs, I mean, that was almost a $10,000 repair. And I only had to pay like $100 deductible for it. So warranties do save you.
I had very good luck with Route 66. It's one of the ones that I like working with the most.
I will say that they have a lot of different types of policies, and so I've got from Route 66. I've got both good experiences and bad experiences with that particular company. But also, I think as a consumer that is purchasing that warranty, you really got to do your due diligence and understand what it is that you're purchasing, because if an extended warranty is selling something like that, and if you're just looking at it from an expense standpoint and buy the cheapest thing possible, and you don't really understand what you're getting, it's still a product that they provide out there, and there's a need for it, right? There may be a customer that wants that less expensive warranty that's not going to cover near as many components and stuff like that. And so I'm a big advocate of extended warranties, but the caveat to that for me is it's got to be the right extended warranty.
And a lot of those companies have different tiers that you can choose from.
For sure. I was getting ready to say that there's different tiers that you have to study, and you just need to decide what's the best tier for you.
Yep.
And I, again, like I talked with the last caller, being in this industry and what we do on day in and day out, and the cars that we see that are broke, and, they come here when something's not right, and it's broke. And so we get to see the advantages of somebody that had purchased an extended warranty and what that does for them on a daily basis almost. And so to do that, again, I am a advocate of that. But I can't stress enough, and just talking with a gentleman about this the other day, that just because you have an extended warranty doesn't mean that you have to maintain your vehicle any different or take care of it any less, or it's not a blanketed insurance on lack of maintenance.
Right.
And honestly, from the insurance perspective's fault, or from side of things, like, it's not their responsibility to take care of something that you didn't maintain.
Right.
And so end of the day, first insurance for me is always maintenance. If you maintain something and take care of it, the hope is to never need that extended warranty. But what I will tell you, in this day and age, and what we see with the technology in these vehicles and stuff like that, like, if you maintain your vehicle, for the most part, it's not going to be the engine, transmission, powertrain type repairs that you're going to have to make, it's going to be the electronics, it's going to be the sensors and switches, and that's and I would say that to be true with just about every manufacturer. Everybody has a pretty durable, reasonable powertrain out there. And again, it comes down to the maintenance on that side of the things. And then now, is that to say that you're not going to occasionally have something that that was mismanufactured or destined to break or fail or something like that? It certainly does happen, but for the most part, everybody's powertrain is a pretty durable powertrain, and with good maintenance, lasts pretty long. So, but
Well,
yeah,
Jess, I'm going to go back to what you said, because I went from a 2015 to a 2022, and you're talking about electrical and stuff. And let me tell you, dude, holy moly, night and day. 22, so much electrical, and it's just like, this is like a different truck from a different world.
Oh yeah.
So I always bring it to you guys for service, like I've always have in the past, because I know if I go to Hamilton Ford, I know you guys are going to do it right. I know you guys are going to be thorough about it, because you guys know Ford trucks more than anybody, inside and out. And that's why I always come. I've said it before many times, when I call them, that you guys are the best, and I don't trust anybody else but you guys to go through trucks.
well, certainly appreciate that. And
Very much.
I've one of the things I've always wondered, and there's got to be a stat out there, and I'm sure it changes from configuration and how the truck's equipped and stuff like that. But if you took all the wiring in a vehicle today and you stranded it out,
Oh man.
singly, and just number of modules. I mean, the number of modules that these vehicles have, and it is crazy. The average consumer would have no idea as to how much stuff is going on behind the scenes of
Mhm.
a vehicle when it's literally just sitting there idling. I
Mhm.
mean, that's not even talking about driving down the road or ABS or airbags or all the safety components and stuff like that to it. And so, yeah, it can definitely be overwhelming for sure. So.
Well, if you want to really see some electrical wiring, you should look at one of our, I'm with EMS, you should see one of our 550s, full Ford 550s we just got in, and you want to talk about wiring, holy moly.
Oh, we do see them every now and again.
happen to get those in from time to time for sure. And yeah, you are you tell no lie on that
Yeah.
aspect. And
You'd probably talk about miles of wiring on those trucks, is because all the emergency equipment and everything that they have to run through it is it's crazy.
yeah, I don't know. It's been 4 or 5 years ago, but one of the things that uh, in that industry that I think was new and coming out, and I don't know, maybe this was new to that industry so much longer than that, but had the opportunity to work on one. And again, in this industry, like yesterday seems like 10 minutes
Right.
ago, and 10 years seems like 5 minutes ago. But I remember the first time I come up on one of those, and it was kind of new to that, but you opened up the back door and it was on bags, and the rear of it dropped, and it was for aid and loading up and unloading a gurney
gurney,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. And but yeah, just I'm thinking, oh man, why do you need that? But then it's like the adaptive cruise, right? In our
Mhm.
industry, when that first came
Mhm.
out, I was like, man, I can't stand that. And then
And now,
now you get in a vehicle without it, and it's like, well, I don't know how I lived without it. For sure. So, and
Well, it's
again,
just like, when you buy a truck, it's like, man, this got everything. And then 4 or 5 years later, they just redesign everything. It's like, how did they come up with this?
yeah, agree with that completely.
You
And
never keep up with it.
the more the more the consumer wants, the more they're going to add, and the higher the price they'll go with it for sure. And so definitely at a point, what's the next thing for
I know.
sure. I think Blue Cruise is going to be a more complete package. I think it's gonna add destinations that are not currently available, but then also become more more involved.
Yeah.
More of a point to point type autonomous driving, if you will, from that that side of it for sure. Yeah, always exciting to see what the new and latest and greatest thing is. And again, that's where, from my perspective, I think that's a lot of what intrigues me about this industry, is because it's always changing, always evolving. There's always something new, always
Yep.
a new product out there, and to see what's next, right?
I mean, just look at a Cybertruck. I mean, truck drives itself. I mean, who would have ever thought, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that completely, for sure. And it's
Well, Deb, I appreciate you taking my call.
no, thanks for the call and
Thanks
the
for calling
comments, and everything like that.
Absolutely.
All right, have a great day, Jason.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, bye. So, hey, 316-462-3673. That's the number to jump on the air here with us and talk about anything automotive. So, question was Father's Day weekend, all right, and anything automotive kind of related gift that you were given for Father's Day, or if you just want to talk about a gift that you were given for Father's Day. And then the other question was taking a road trip. So, on a road trip, did you have any automotive hindrances, let's call them, from that side that made the trip memorable? That's what I always, when things don't necessarily go
Oh yeah.
the way that you think they ought to,
Yeah.
I always call it out and say, you know what, we're making memories here.
Yep.
Because
all
if
we can do.
everything goes flawless and exactly like it should, you're not going to remember it,
Right,
right? But
right.
but the time it doesn't, might not be at the time the best thing ever, but later on, it's called making memories.
Yep.
For sure. So, and then with that, again, if there's any listeners out there that want to call in and tell their story, talking about just road trips in general and getting that vehicle geared up and ready to go for the road trip. One of the things that we've talked about on this show many times, is the distances between oil change intervals. So right now, years ago it used to be kind of 3,000, now 5,000s with the semi-synthetic oils and stuff like that. 5,000 miles is the interval, right? The recommended interval. And so if you were to road trip from Miami, Florida to Anchorage, Alaska, it's around, I don't know, 5,053 miles, I think, when I looked it up at one point in time. But when I'm thinking of that, like from my perspective, okay, if I'm making that road trip, I'm dang sure making sure like the car's ready to go,
Yeah.
right? Like, and then, okay, what am I looking over? What am I checking? What am I doing? And what blows me away is essentially that's what everybody's doing in between oil change intervals, but we don't really check the car over
No.
anymore. I don't know is that many consumers would even know how to pop a hood
Yeah.
per se, in that aspect. And so one of the things right off the bat, and I would say there's probably a high percentage of cars that are running around right now that are low on oil.
Yeah. I mean, I remember even when I was a kid, it was pretty common to pull into a gas station and see a couple of hoods up at the
Mhm.
gas pumps,
Sure.
people checking their oil and stuff. And that just, nobody does that anymore. Nobody.
We pull into Quick Trip. We've
Yeah.
stuffed the pump in the fuel tank. Get it going. Head inside. Go get you a Route 44
Yeah.
drink and a
Oh, big
churro, cinnamon churro, or something like that, and top her off.
Yep.
Close the fuel door, and then down the road you go. But with these with these low tension ringed engines now, like oil consumption is a thing.
Absolutely.
You know,
And you don't necessarily have to be blowing blue smoke out of the exhaust to be using oil.
to be using oil.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, even from a manufacturer point, like it's I don't want to say they're designed to burn oil, but it is slated that it's going to burn oil.
There is a specification out there.
for use of oil. And to a consumer, like, okay, so if you're routinely just going through the 5,000 mile portion of it and it's burning normal, what is considered to be normal oil consumption, Like, do you have to add any? Do you have no? Probably not. Within that interval, it's for me. It's the people that drive it now 7,000 miles or
Yeah.
9,000 miles or like, and not even understand or check it. We had a vehicle in the other day, and it was had we had history of it, and they were running at 9,000 miles between services, and oil was 3.5 quarts low. Like,
Yeah.
can it operate in that condition? Yeah, it can operate in that condition, but the heat that you're now not taking out of those components, the wear that you're now adding to those components,
At
like
3.5 quarts low, that oil that's in that engine has no protection left. Very little protection left for those components in your engine, and you're flirting with disaster.
and
at
it's
that point.
probably it's probably doubled in operating temperature
Yeah.
because it doesn't have anywhere to dissipate the
Right.
heat to, everybody thinks of oil as a lubricant, which it is, but its primary function is to dissipate the heat out of the internal components and work them out, work the heat out of that engine or those components for sure. So definitely, right off the bat for me, checking oil is huge, and then follow that with, I think, I don't know what would be, I don't for me, maybe probably number one and number two. So for me is tire pressure and oil pressure, or oil level. uh, I'd be curious to know. I bet there's, with low tire lights and tire pressure monitoring systems, and so is there more cars out there today right now with uh, low oil or low tire pressures?
Man, I bet there's more cars out there with both of those things simultaneously.
Oh, combined?
Yes.
Yeah.
And tire pressure is another thing we don't really spend a whole lot of time on, but with just because your low tire light doesn't come on doesn't mean they're not low, and a few pounds in a tire can make a big difference over the course of several thousand miles, both in tire wear and fuel economy.
Yeah.
But if I'm heading down a road trip, yeah, engine oil level, tire pressures, wiper blades, tread depth, checking my brakes, make sure I got plenty of brakes left, are some key components that I would be checking before heading out, especially if I'm going from Miami to Anchorage.
I mean, think of
That's quite
so
a road trip.
it is, right? But we do it all the time in between oil change intervals. The other thing that I'm thinking of is wiper blades.
Yeah.
What's I don't know how many customers that I've been involved with, and I've even experienced personally, is it's just out of sight, out of mind, right?
Yep.
And then you drive into that rainstorm and hit that button, and it's like, what is going on here? For sure. And so it's something that a lot of people don't think of for sure. So I got Greg Murray on here, and he says, before I take a road trip, I definitely want to bring my car into quick lane. The oil is great. Multi-point covers a lot more.
Yep.
Correct. Yeah. So, and we get a lot of people that, this time of year, hey, I'm headed out for this trip. I want to look everything over. I think that's a great idea.
Absolutely.
These guys, with the amount of volume that runs through this place, like, they'll see more F-150s in a day than the average repair shop is going to see in a week's time
Or more. Yeah.
or more. And so there's value in that, right? You know where to look for things, for wear items. This component is more common to wear on this specific vehicle, and to be able to draw attention to that much quicker, and know how to inspect it. That's something that that we work on a lot with a lot of our apprentices as they come in, and is and talked about. We just had Pratt Community College, or sorry, not Pratt, Hutchinson Community College over here the other day, and we talked a lot about the multi-point inspection. Like, it's so important to, one, perform them, two, make sure they're accurate, but then three, just the knowledge to know what you're inspecting, why you're inspecting it, and the proper way to inspect it.
Yep.
And that's something that with the apprenticeship that you have down there at the Quick Lane, I think we do a really good job at, is that's starting in on that portion of the automotive journey is huge.
Absolutely. The multi-point is one of the most important things you can do, and from a service standpoint. I mean, really being able to give that customer the peace of mind till the next time you're seeing that car is Greg's right. That's a huge benefit.
So talk about oil pressure, or God, why do I keep doing that? It is important to have oil pressure, especially if you're going on a 5,000 mile journey, for sure. So talk about oil level for sure. Tire pressures. The next thing was the wiper blades, and really topping off all fluids just in general. The other thing is I'm probably not making that trip if I've got any type of warning indicators or anything going on there. And, from that perspective for me, and I always had this conversation, multiple times with multiple people, but you may get, there's, from a let's just talk about check engine lights specifically for a second. How many different codes out there, how many different things can cause a check engine light to come on? I mean, there's hundreds, if not probably 1,000 different things anymore that can do that. And are some of them more important than others? Certainly. And are some of them show stopping? In other words, hey, I should get this.
Starts blinking at me.
I should get this addressed right now. Oh, certainly, absolutely, certainly. But then, are there some that I think of an EVAP code or something like that, where it's just an emissions related type situation? Now, is that important? Certainly can be. It could lead to additional problems if it's not addressed. But my biggest thing with that, and taking it on a road trip like we're talking about, is if it's on and it's an EVAP system, is that a problem? Nah, probably not. Is it going to affect you on that trip? No, probably not. But if something else happens while you're headed down that road, the light's not coming on brighter. It's not coming on with hey, I've got an additional warning. It's already on, so you're not going to necessarily know a difference. And
when you're going on a road trip, you want to go ahead and limit as many of the probablys as possible,
for certain.
Get those variables taken care of.
Yeah, the due diligence is huge. Next thing I'm thinking of is just suspension components. Do I have worn or loose tie rod ends or ball joints, or that would be extremely show stopping.
Is this thing making 2 or 3 pops every time I pull out of my driveway? And you
go down the road and now you're 3 states away and got a ball joint that goes out, like you're done. You're there. Now you're talking a tow, and it's not I'll limp it back to someplace. It's a here and now type situation for sure. So steering and suspension is another huge thing. And, you talked about brakes for sure. So,
I was headed to Sturgis, South Dakota back in 2012 on my street bob. And I still had a little bit of tread depth on that back tire. And my thought was, it's fine. It'll get me there. And I'll just get a tire put on while I'm up there. Everybody's selling tires up there at Sturgis. And I was on I-80, going about 80, right outside of Mitchell, South Dakota, when I blew that back tire. And they had done been doing construction,
like grooving.
So they had ground they had grooved the road. So I'm sure that didn't help.
Yeah.
But I blew that tire, and that was a little squirrely. But then also the repair place that I found there in Mitchell, the bike shop, I'm pretty sure they had the regular pricing, and then they had the Sturgis pricing board that they would hang up during that 2 weeks before, during, and 2 weeks after, So I don't know. I think I wound up giving $400 or $500 to get a back tire put on that thing, and while I'm sitting out there fuming on the curb, just sitting there on bikes in the shop, I called back to a local shop here, and they're like, "Yeah, it's about $139 installed." Of course, it is.
So, if only, right?
Yeah. Wish I would have made a different decision when heading out on a road trip on that deal for sure.
Yeah, yeah, understand that, and again, that's part of it. I'm sure you were out there, and I'm sure it was warm, being that
Oh,
time
yeah.
of year, and so that probably didn't help when
Yep.
you're already running on lower tread. So the heat didn't do you any favors in that deal.
Absolutely.
So, hey, we've got another caller here, so let's go to the phone and talk to Greg. Greg, good morning. You're on Live with Under the Hood.
Yes, you were talking about extended warranties. I
Yes.
bought mine from you when I got my used Explorer in March of 24. Do you just sell Ford extended warranties?
So
Or
we
what?
Yeah, so we have a couple of different warranties. It depends on, so Ford will run promotions from time to time, and they have ESP programs, and then outside of that, we have Allstate warranties as well. And so that's something I can certainly look up and find out what contract you have. But yeah, we do have a couple of different options, and just depends on time of purchase and incentives and what's best for the consumer on that
Okay.
side of it. So
You're either Allstate or Ford then.
correct, yeah,
Right now we are, but Greg, like he was saying, it depends on what date you purchase and everything like that. We're always trying to do research and find out what's best for the consumer and everything like that too.
Okay. Your story on low on oil.
yes, sir.
This is back in the 70s. In the 70s, when I was in college, my roommate worked at a full service station on the weekends. A lady came in with her 283 Chevy, and he checked the oil, and it was 2 quarts low. He told her, "Ma'am, you need oil. You're 2 quarts low." And she was insistent. She says, "How much does it hold?" He said, "Well, this engine's 5 quarts." And she says, "I'll be back when I use the other 3." And he told her, no, that doesn't work that way. And he could not sell her 2 quarts of oil. She
Oh,
drove
boy.
off to 2 quarts low.
That will that will work
Yep.
for a while.
There was probably another repair shop that got a little bit of business out of that.
Right. Hey, I do have a question. My daughter's got a 2020 Expedition. She's up to close to, I think, 130,000 miles. And they were recently in Florida. They had a little problem this late winter, early spring, and throttle body dirty, and had it cleaned, not by a Ford dealer though. And then they were in Florida and had another problem, and it went in limp mode and ended up at a Ford dealership. And they said they had to replace the whole throttle body. Is that common at that kind of mileage? Is there things in the air that wear?
I wouldn't call it a common issue. I have seen it a time or two, but probably not enough to call it real common.
Yeah.
But yeah, those throttle bodies, it is that's a drive-by-wire system. So you don't have a throttle cable anymore. So that you got a motor on the side of the throttle body and a sensor on the accelerator pedal. And yeah, unfortunately, when those do go bad, you're pretty much done.
Well, and so two sides to that. One I would say, like Kelly was saying, it's a throttle by wire, and by wire meaning electrical. And so the functionality of that throttle body at 130,000 miles for the throttle body to need cleaned is 100% probable. But what you're cleaning on that throttle body is carbon buildup. So when that motor's running and you shut it off, you have unburned fuel inside of the combustion chambers and in that motor, and the turns into essentially a vapor, and then it raises in the engine and gets on the backside of the throttle body, and that's carbon buildup essentially. And so when they're cleaning the throttle body, they're talking about specifically because the throttle body also meters the air which when that enters the engine, and that's what determines essentially kind of idle. So you can get rough and unstable idle. You can get, kind of a hiccup on tip in or as you go to accelerate. And those are common signs of carbon buildup on a throttle body, or just in the engine. And so for them to go through and clean it, that's what they were cleaning. Now, when you have an additional problem with it or the electrical problem with it, like I could see those two from a consumer standpoint saying, well, we just mess with this throttle body, but in fact, you could have had two completely separate issues just with the same component. And as Kelly was saying, so there's a sensor on the pedal inside the car, and as you depress it, then it moves the electric motor, which moves the throttle plate. But then there's also multiple, they call them throttle position sensors inside of that throttle body. And so what the jobs of those is to monitor where that throttle position is, and they have to agree with each other. There's multiple sensors in there for redundancy so that the car doesn't just take off, or and so if the sensors come up with a disagreement, then the vehicle will go into what they call a limp mode, which is basically it will still run and operate, but it's at a derated mode, just to make sure that one, it's keeping the consumer protected, but then also keep the components of the engine protected from overrunning or operating outside of any type of limits that it may have. So
yeah, does 44K help keep that throttle body clean?
So 44K will, but it's not going to be as effective as the induction portion of it. And
Right.
so the 44K goes in the fuel system, which then comes out through the injectors. It will help with some carbon, but again, you're still getting some of that unburned fuel in there, and it's got to escape as vapors when you're dumping that into a hot engine and you shut it off. Like it's got to go somewhere.
But for preventive maintenance, is the 44K good for that?
Yeah, so 44K, and that's something that, again, go ahead.
Not as a service, but as a preventive.
Yeah, 44K is something that Ford has adopted, Chevrolet has adopted, and there's definitely value in that product, and what it provides as far as I would say from a 44K standpoint, think of it from all the different fuel stations around even just here in the city of Wichita. Not every one of them going to have the same quality of fuel. Right. And I think 44K helps equalize those different types of fuel to a more premium fuel. But still, just through use of fuel and everything like that, like you will get carbon, you will get even with the use of 44K, but it brings that average fuel up to more of a premium grade fuel.
Okay. Well, thank you.
No, thank you. Thanks for the question, and appreciate your oil story. And I think Kelly and I could probably both have our own different discussions in regards to customers that we've talked to that it's like I just can't I can't make the connection. I can't get you to understand how important this is. And again, try as you might.
Yep.
It's just we're just not making a connection. So enjoyed your story. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Have a great day.
You didn't.
Bye. Well, very good.
I'll just be back when I use the other three. Oh man, that's funny.
It's just I want to get all the good out of this one.
Yeah.
So I can think of a couple people like that on tires.
Mm-hmm.
One of them just gave their story about heading to Sturgis on a tire with 230 seconds.
Yeah.
Hey, there's still some tire left on that there, or still some tread left on that there tire. So, well, very good.
Almost made it too.
You made it just to the high prices.
Yeah.
Very good. Good for you.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I've got a couple things going this morning, Kelly. I know you do as well. So I think we'll kind of wrap things up here, but I appreciate all the calls, all the loyal listeners. Had a great discussion this morning. Appreciate the discussion, and again, the calls and the can't tell them 2 quarts of oil.
Look forward to seeing y'all in here to get ready for your road trips this summer.
Yes, very much so. So, everybody have a wonderful Father's Day weekend, and we will talk to you next Saturday.